All right, hey everybody, this is Iman Mitchell, one of the founding members of the Bonus Boys Club, coming to you with a special hangout. Reached out to this gentleman. You've seen him on this channel before. Just a gentleman that I really look up to and admire, Mr. Tony Bouie, one of the founding members of the BAM fam. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to be here. Glad to be on the hangout with Bonus Boys Club.
Most definitely, most definitely. And one of the reasons that I wanted to reach out to you and this hangout is aptly titled Phase 2 is because Solvay right now is really going through a transition period whereby a lot of exciting things are rolling out with the company. Mercedes-Benz car program, exciting new compensation plan, bonus structure in place, a lot more money on the table for people that want to get out there and make it happen. But we were talking a little bit offline, but I want to just ask you and pick your brain about a couple of things for some of the folks that are either in Solvay, maybe they're looking at it as an opportunity, maybe they've been in, got out, and maybe you're reconsidering starting back up. But for you, what do you think, with everything that's rolled out right now, is the key to building a successful Solvay business as it exists right now?
That's a loaded question. It really depends on what you want to get out of Solvay. So if you're looking to, like me, retire, it's going to take a concerted effort, that an inconsistent effort over a period of time in order to get that done. So for me, it's about trying to find ways to get above the noise, so to speak, to set yourself apart, to be unique. And as you've known, it's not always going to be an instant response. You've got to create a body of work, especially if you want people that are successful to follow you. So if you're looking to eventually tap into another network marketing company or pull a different leader from another company, you have to have created a body of work that demonstrates your success, that demonstrates your consistency, that demonstrates your understanding of leading people, and eventually you will be recognized as one of those people, and you are. But many people haven't gotten that yet. They do something for a little bit, they're not consistent enough, they see another shiny object, and then they're off running in a different direction. And to be quite honest, I wouldn't follow those kind of people.
Yeah.
I don't want to follow somebody who's going to be gone in 2 months if it doesn't go right. So you got to be consistent, man.
Yeah, this is true. This is true because one of the things, and I've actually had people tell me that they admired my consistency and sticking with it. And the thing that if anybody ever asked me, with everything that's happened, what keeps you in soul? I mean, I will extend the same question for you. Is, as far as I'm concerned, our value proposition is still unmatched in terms of the ease of customer acquisition. What I mean by that is anybody can sign up anybody for Solvay if you're a brand partner right now. And if you're not watching this, a brand partner is a person, if you're not familiar, is a person who can actually go out and build a business of Solvay. You're not just a customer, but you're actually a business builder. I have yet to see an opportunity that has the ability that Solvay has to get, number one, a customer, and number two, a repeat customer. Because, I mean, not to down any other opportunities or anything like that that's out there, but if you, let's say for instance, you have a product-based company where someone might try that product, they might like it, okay, I'll take a bag of, this milkshake or whatever. There's no real guarantee that they're going to keep ordering that milkshake from you every single month. With Solvay, now, will everybody you sign up stay? No, of course not. But the likelihood of them paying, think about how long you've had your mobile phone provider, if you're watching this, or even providers in the past. My first provider was Verizon. I had them for God knows how many years. Okay, but most people, as customers, don't stick with an average network marketing company for years, even if it's as a customer or as a builder. So that's what really keeps me in, is the value proposition and the likelihood of a repeat customer. It's just not every opportunity can boast that. But what keeps you in Solvay, Tony?
You know what? I believe in the vision of what Ryan Wirtz has created. There's bumps in the road. There's ups and downs. The road to the top is not a straight line. He's done it before. He's been successful before. So it gives me an understanding that he's kind of, navigated these travails before. That's one thing. Another thing is, I go off my background. Other things that I've done, I know that that there's going to be, bumps along the road. For those of you that don't know, I played the National Football League. So I played with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a number of years. I played under Sam Weiss and Tony Dungy. I sat on the board for the National Football League Players Association during the lockout in 2010. So it was me and 10 other guys that were part of the negotiations with owners. And stuff changes. So think about this. For me, I spend 18, 19 years or whatever of sacrifice, blood, sweat, and tears to get to an opportunity to get in the NFL. Then you get in the NFL, right? And you learn how to tackle a certain way. You learn how to the rules that you grew up with. Then all of a sudden, the rules committee changed the stupid rules. Now you can't tackle the quarterback below the knees. You can't hit somebody coming across the middle until they take 2 steps and make a move. You can't hit anybody in the head, right? So what do? Do I just say, screw it, I'm going to forget a 6-figure salary because they changed the rules on me, I quit? Heck no. Yeah. You adjust. Yeah. You learn how to not tackle a quarterback below the knees. You learn how to, tackle it different ways. You learn how to not use your helmet. You learn how to not hit somebody in the head so you don't get fined, right? But you still play. You don't screw the opportunity because the rules change slightly. Yeah. And so people who have had no success in life or had limited success or are easily distracted will quit the game because they changed the rules. No, if you want to continue to have the opportunity to make that kind of money, then you adjust. You stay within the lines. Yeah. And if you stay within the lines and you keep going, you can still have the opportunity to play the game and win. Solarby's the same way. Yeah, they changed the comp plan. I just readjust. I changed my strategy on how to build a network, on how to message the opportunity. And and you keep going. Yeah. But some people quit. I don't have, I'm just blunt. I don't have time for quitters. Don't have time for it. If you were my teammate in the NFL, and I'm telling you, if you quit, man, there goes your reputation. The coaches see it, your teammates see it, the general manager sees it, and I guarantee you'll be gone sooner or later. Sooner, probably, rather than later. Quitters don't make it in life. A whole lot of quitters.
This is true. And I love what you talked about, adjusting. I mean, that's just life. You have to learn because the only thing that's going to be consistent is going to be changing. It's changes. It's change, period. That's the only thing. That's the only consistent. Things are going to be changing on a daily basis, personal life, business, anything. But now that we're in this new season, it's phase 2. What type of people are you looking for in brand partners? Because now it's going to be all about those brand partners. Solarby is very big on rewarding individuals that are going to go out there and really build a brand, to be a brand ambassador, go out and reach those ranks, team ambassador and director, regional director, etc. So keeping this in mind now, do you look for a specific type of person, or are you just talking to everybody? Or how do you go about, I guess for lack of a better term, prospecting? Are you looking for a specific type of person, or are you just kind of an equal opportunity sharer and just put it in front of people? What's your opinion?
I'm still talking to everybody, but 90% of my focus and attention as I'm talking to people are people that are looking, that are entrepreneurial. I'm still looking for customers. I'm still looking for people that want to save, because that's almost everybody. But I'm keen into the conversation, to my listening skills about what the person's pain point is. So I'm looking for builders, because the way the new comp plan is, you don't need a ton of personal enrollees. You just need a few that you can help build and coach and grow with. which is good because there's only so much room in a Mercedes C-Class. There's only a couple seats, right? So let's get the right ones in the seat and let's roll in the Mercedes, sold in Mercedes Benz Club. So.
Yeah, and I don't think enough people really noticed that. Was if you look even at the top rank, I think it's what, Double Diamond Presidential, you only need 4 ambassador lines that happen. So in essence, 4 separate people, 4 separate, for those familiar with the industry, 4 separate legs to get to the top of the compliment. Now that doesn't mean you sign up 4 people and you just sit back, but because there's going to be, of course, geometric growth that's going to have to take place, and you have to have kind of advanced. It's based on a point system. So some of this is like we only have half the picture because as other things roll out and people can count for maybe 2 points or 3 points, it's not necessarily that you have to have all these thousands of people that are going to be in your network. But I mean, you never know. Things are just constantly changing. We're in, like we talked about a little bit off air, a transition period. But you only need 4 serious people. That's it to get to the top of the compliment. 4 ambassador lines.
You need. There's only 1 quarterback on the team, and to make that analogy, you only need 4 quarterbacks to coach. That's all you need. You need 4 quarterbacks to coach, and so it may take you 20 to find those 4. It may take you 50 to find those 4, but when you find those 4, that's all you need.
Yeah, and for anybody, at least for my channel, I know I've cataloged a lot of the things that I've been through and the trips that we've got to go on, the socials and stuff. But back in 2012, I locked in with about 3 or 4 people that really built most of my network. That was it, just about 3 or 4 of them. I've signed up, I don't know how many people I've signed up. It may be in the 70s, I think. Maybe anywhere from the 50 to 70 range in terms of people, both customers and builders that I've signed up, which isn't a lot of people. But only about 3 or 4 of them built most of my overall network right now. That's it.
That's typical. That's pretty typical. I mean, I've probably signed anywhere between 80 and 90 over the course of starting Solvay, and most of those people have just come through a few. My network has just come through a few people.
That's it, and typically that's how it is. So you're not looking to work. If you're watching this and you're a brand partner and a builder, you're not looking to sign up 1,000 people. You don't. It doesn't take all that. Every top earner that I've ever met in any multitude of companies, they just have like a few key people that they really work with, and it just grows from there like you wouldn't believe. So, but it might take a while to find it. That's the thing I tell people. I was blessed to find mine like in my first 4 months when I first started. It might take you a year. It might take you 2 years. But is it worth finding? Like I think of one guy that I signed up in Texas, and I probably talked to over 1,000 people, and I found him by placing a Craigslist ad of all. But he replied, he signed up, and he just went nuts. And I asked people, would it be worth it? And at one point, he was making more money than me. But was it worth talking to 1,000 people to find that one guy? You bet. Will I do it again? I'm doing it right now because I know there's more people out there like him who are looking for something like solar. So it's just worth it. You just keep going through the numbers. It's a numbers game, if anything else. So now my last question to you, of course, because the hour is late, is that there are a lot of things rolling out. Of course, right now, like we talked about, Puerto Rico's on fire. There are certain key markets in the country right now where solar is really making a lot of noise. A lot of noise is happening in the Hispanic community as well. But with everything that's rolled out, what are you most excited about that's coming down the pipe concerning solar? Like, where do you see yourself and your network being, we'll say, until the 2015 season?
Mexico. I'm telling you, Mexico. That's what I'm excited about. I can see the vast majority of my network being Hispanic in the next year. And I posted up on Facebook today. I said, you know what? Information is worthless and not advantageous unless you use it, unless you do something about it.
I saw that.
So the fact of the matter is, 50% of the company is Hispanic. 30% of the last month's enrollments were, I believe, from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So there's something about that demographic that is more nuclear, more I don't know what the word to say, but but it's been growing faster than the other networks. So my goal is to find a way to reach into that network and start building my own Hispanic leg, quote unquote legs. So how do you do that? You try to find ways to get into those communities. So one of the things that nuggets. So I ran for office in the state of Arizona, and so I used some of the political tactics on reaching into small pockets of influence. To politicians do this all the time. They'll have their chief of staff go try to find a local pastor, or the food truck person, or somebody that has an influence in small, 6 to 7, 8, 10 blocks of a neighborhood. And if you can get that one person that's kind of an influencer, the rest of it will catch on fire. Politicians do it to get votes and name recognition. In Solvay, you should be doing it to obviously build a network in pockets of communities. So you should be trying to find the food truck person. You should be trying to find a local pastor that's in that community. So and it's not going to be you that has to learn how to speak Spanish. And some of the other leaders in Solvay continue to talk about this. That you don't have to go out and get a Rosetta Stone and learn how to speak Spanish in the next 30 days. It's going to be you finding someone that finds someone that finds the person that creates the growth momentum in your organization. So there are all kinds of innovative ways to market to that demographic, whether it's online or in person, whether it's on a street corner or whether it's through Craigslist ads, whether it's using Google Translate. There are all kinds of ways that you can reach into that demographic. And the more you can marinate on and think about it, I guarantee you'll find ways to do that.
Most definitely. And like they say, it's not who you know, it's who they know. Who they know. Because, like you said, I love that, reaching into small pockets of communities. Like you said, leverage. That's one thing politicians understand is leverage. By getting people to endorse their message, to endorse platforms or certain things that they have in common with certain communities, they're able to, like you said, reach into those certain communities and get things accomplished. And there's one other thing, too, that I love that you mentioned, because when you talk about reaching into those small pockets, there's actually two ways that I believe when it comes to building a large network that I found. If you're one of those people who can't see signing up like 3 or 4 people and your network growing into thousands to tens of thousands of people, then what you're going to have to do, the other approach, it might take a little longer, but it's doable. You're going to have to get a lot of people to do a little bit of work. Imagine signing up. Maybe you're that person who can sign up 100 people. And what if those 100 people only got 10 each? Well, 100 times 10, that's 1,000. Right? But you only signed up 100. So it can go either way. But either you're going to find a few people that can do a lot, or you're going to have to find a lot of people who just do a little. Right now, where I'm at, I've gotten pretty good at finding people to just do a little. I sign up a person, they sign up 6 people, and then they may kind of drop off, like it's in a way, whatever. But I've already got somebody else in the pipeline. They add 7, 8 people. Cool. Okay, now next month I've signed up somebody else. They add 10, 20 people. Oh man, awesome. Okay, but I never stop. See, I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. And as well, that's just something that I think a lot of people, they have to have that mentality as well, that you keep going until you get to the level that you want to be at. So yeah.
You're right. I mean, one thing that I posted some on Facebook, in my B12 thing that I've been doing is, you just got to learn how to persevere, because most people, 90% of the people will quit. And this is just brutally honest, most people are quitters. They are going to find a way either to quit in the beginning or be fatigued over a certain period of time. their vision of what Solvay was going to be for them didn't come in the time frame that they wanted it, so they get disenchanted and they end up quitting. If you can just persevere longer than everyone else, most people, the other 90%, you're going to find yourself in the top 10%. I mean, that's like being in the top 10% of Solvay. Now or 10 years from now, you are going to find yourself making a lot of money because you persevered. And there are people in the beginning in Solvay. Some of the leaders, quote unquote, the leaders, are no longer around. Where are they?
Yeah.
They're gone. But you persevere, and now you find yourself being a more influential within Solvay because you've been consistent for longer than anybody else. And but once you are, you've kind of find the good graces of other leaders in Solvay and corporate in Solvay, you'll find yourself being a part of the things before everyone else knows. And I found this out being an athlete, running longer than anybody else, or having a tougher mentality longer than anybody else, being in shape longer than anybody else. So in the end of the fourth quarter, you're still able to compete. And I've just taken that same mentality and changed it into the other things I do in life.
Yeah.
But just stay consistent, persevere. Don't let the small stuff get to you. Keep with your vision, and you'll find yourself in a place where you're in the top 10%. And the other 10%, you've got to. It's a grind. You want to get to the top 1%, but that's where you want to be. So like Gary Vaynerchuk said, man, you gotta get out and work. You want the car, you want the lifestyle. It's called work. Get out there. So.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who's successful by accident. Like sometimes I'll hear them say, "Yeah, I was lucky." I'm like, "Are you sure about that?" Because I'm pretty sure you don't make it to the NFL by being quote unquote lucky. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm pretty sure you worked your behind off, for lack of a better term, on a daily basis, yearly basis, practicing, doing drills, going even when you didn't feel like going, putting the work in. I'm not sure how that luck has to play into that, because you really have to work your tail off to anything that's worth having. That's just life. A marriage, a good business, anything that's like worth having and cultivating, a good car even. You gotta, work to take care of it. It's just not gonna. I don't know. Some people just, I don't know. It's just that mentality just kind of makes me odd. I guess people just want it right now. If it doesn't happen in a month, I'm gone. I'm gonna find something else. Okay, that's you. But oh well, so be it. All right, so. Well, Mr. Bouie, I definitely appreciate your time. Of course, as always, I want to invite the people to, because you have a YouTube channel that's on here that's awesome. There's some great content on there, some great training. And I love what you've done with the B12 shot. And, of course, you and Thomas out there really rocking with the BAM fam. But if somebody wants to either reach out to you, maybe connect with you, or even join your Solvay team, what's the best way for people to connect with you?
People can get to me. You can find me on Facebook, my Facebook fan page, Tony V. Bouie. They can go to texttalksave.com, put in the information, I'll get it.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, folks, thanks so much for watching. This was the Phase 2 Hangout with Mr. Tony Bouie. We'll be sure to have some more great content coming with some more leaders. And like you said, if nothing else, Mexico. We're talking about virgin territory, great people down there. And everybody has a phone. I was excited to see how Carlos Slim is being forced to sell off some of his, well, not some of it, but they're breaking up the monopoly down there. And so it kind of reminds me of the energy deregulation deal that's going on even up here in the States. While not every state is deregulated, there have been, I know one company who shall remain nameless, but some of you probably already know who they are. They did $1 billion in doing business in just 8 states because of energy deregulation. So we're talking about right now in Mexico, the mobile phone industry is being deregulated because Mr. Slim, who is the second richest man in the world, a large part of his holdings were in telecom, but now the government has said they're busting that monopoly up. And I was talking to another friend of mine, Mr. Billy Cruz, who happens to speak Spanish as well as English, and he's been doing a lot of research into the markets down there in Mexico. He's very excited, and he had me excited once we spoke. So I said, okay, well let's make some things happen. So I'm ready. I'm like you, and I look forward to working with some. I mean, that doesn't matter to me. Black, white. Only color I care about is green. So you Latino, white, black, male, female, purple, don't matter. You ready to get it? Let's get it. But I'll be happy to work with anybody down there in the Mexico market as well. Sounds good to me. Any parting words or anything before we get out of here, Mr. Bouie?
Like we always say, everybody's looking for a miracle, so it might as well be you that delivers it. Be a miracle and go bam.
Yes, sir. All right, sounds good. Okay, folks, thanks so much for watching. You guys have a good one. Take care.
All right.